Are you looking for an affordable lens that gets ultra wide, but you're not really committed to the ultra wide game like I am? Well, this company, PERGEAR, that's right, they're called PERGEAR, sent me over this 14mm 2.8 RF mount lens to put on my Canon R5 Mark II. They are letting me keep it. They did not give me any other money. This is not a sponsored video. They have no idea what I'm going to say. And I'm going to say some crazy stuff about this thing. So it's going to be fun. Let's get to it. It was empty. It's okay.
You're a monster.
Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, your wonderful bald friend, Jared. Yes, I was gifted with this non-hairdo for low maintenance so I can focus on working with you guys and gals in talking nerd talk when it comes to cameras, video, and other tech. And today we're going to be talking about this, the PERGEAR 14mm 2.8. Here is the catch to this thing. There is a catch. There's a pro. There's a catch. The catch is it's 100% manual. There is no digital connection. Your camera won't even know it exists. You have to tell your camera there's something on it. You know, I might have that experience in life. But the Pro, it does take an 82mm filter, so it's not bulbous enough that a filter doesn't fit on it. And with all my other large RF lenses that do take an 82mm, I've got enough of those laying around. Now we are going to do an unboxing so you can see what this looks like coming out of the box, but I need to show you something. It's kind of a prelude. It's a future. I'm going to kind of set you up. I did some video of it out in my backyard, but this is what it looks like. Like something out of a bad 80s video. I'm pretty sure that it didn't connect all the way and my camera had no idea if anything was even on it, even though it doesn't, because you have to change it to shoot without lens because it can't recognize it anyways. I have no idea what happened there. That part of the video is pretty cool. Do I want to redo it? No. So you get what you get. You don't throw a fit. That's what I tell my kids. It just looks bizarre. But here, I'm going to freeze on this frame right here because this is like the only one that actually gets to my point. The sun stars on here are actually pretty awesome. So the sun was in the background of me and I was doing some IBIS tests and stuff. And by the way, the IBIS is decent, especially with the R5 II, and I'm sure the R6 II would be the same. But the stars on here are nice. It does give a nice image to it, and the video quality is good. Again, it's going to be 100% manual. So what we're going to do is I'm going to unbox this. Then I'm going to show you a little vlog test, and then we're going to go into Lightroom. I'm going to show you what the image looks like out of camera in stills. Where is it sharp? Where is it not sharp? And then back to, is it worth it? We're going to come back here. Is it worth $189? It's like the cheapest RF lens out there. If you're looking for ultra wide, I mean, you can watch the rest of this video just to get more detail, but the link is below. And if you just want to get in the game, this is the one to get in the game. I don't think there's anything cheaper. This is actually pretty exciting. So for less than $200, this thing can be yours. Now, it shoots up all to these mounts, and obviously this is the RF mount, so I am super excited. Oh, there's a case. Does anybody use these cases anymore? I don't. Oh, wow. This is actually smaller than, oh, it's smaller, but it is heftier. Whoa. This thing is a metal beast. I was deceived. I was thinking this was going to be a light plastic thing. This can be a weapon in the game Clue. Mrs. Peacock killed Colonel Mustard in the library with a 14mm 2.8 heavy metal piece of something. This is a beast. I cannot get over it. All right, let's do the big thing. Let's open up and take this lens cap out. Nice 14mm bulbous. It does take a filter. It says 82mm right there. 82mm filter thread. There is no weather sealing. By the way, How hard would it be to create a rubber gasket, put it around there to make it rubber sealed? That's got to be a job. I feel like that's a business opportunity. Does anybody want to go into business with me and we will create these? Because you can make any of these weather sealed by just putting a rubber gasket around it right there. And that is the key. Again, I want to reiterate, the aperture ring is just so smooth. Actually, let's see what it looks like. Is that noticeable to any of you? Maybe it's not, maybe it is. This is vlogging again. Set at f8 without an ND filter. Oh, my mistake. I meant f5.6. That is what we are at right now. So not f8, f5.6. ISO 800, 1/50th shutter, and it is an S-RAW. And I think I have it a little bit closer where I should be mostly in focus on this. So can you vlog? Yes, you could vlog with this. Do you want to? I don't know. It's totally up to you. Why are you asking me? But check it out. It is not that expensive for making a mistake. People rent lenses and pay a lot more than this, so who knows? So obviously shot at 14 millimeter because that's all you got right here. And the focal is right here. So I did zoom in digitally to make sure I was focusing correctly. And this is what the center of the image looks like. It is actually pretty good. I was actually shocked how good this even looks. The contrast is nice. There's some noise, but the details are there. Now, the 15 to 35 2.8, the 14 to 35 f4, they're going to be sharper. There's going to be more detail in it, but for a $189 lens, it's pretty. Now, the center of a lens should always look good, and that's where my focus was, but you will see that there is some vignetting, and there's no correction at all in Lightroom. It does not know this. It doesn't have any data to know this lens. So the corners are really, really bad, but most people actually don't even care about the corners when they're shooting ultra wide. They just want that center area to show, and the vignetting is kind of artistic. Except in real estate, you want it to be sharp. So at f2.8, I would say this is actually pretty good. Obviously the house right here is blurry. It's also out of focus, where the focus is right here in this tree. I'm probably making you guys all dizzy. Here is this corner. So the corners are going to be not as sharp, but from a 45 megapixel on the R5 II, this thing looks really good. Again, you can't see what I'm seeing, but this is a 48-inch, 120 hertz OLED screen with color accuracy. It looks really good, and this isn't even color correct. Now, let's go over here to this image. And for some reason, Lightroom is rendering it blue, and then when I zoom in, it has warmed it up. So I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe it's just not understanding the data of the file, but this is the accuracy of it. Temperature is 6,800. And so my focus was on the railing right here. And as you can see, this is actually pretty sharp, and this is 2.8. So 2.8, obviously you're not going to get a lot of background blur right here. But the focus on the railing is good. This is an f4. It is a little bit sharper. You can tell that's about where the focus is on there. Now here, this is underexposed, but I believe my focus is right here. And actually that is sharp. So looking pretty darn good and sharp for what it is. Let's go look in the corners. Corners are out of focus. They are not on the same plane though, but even over here, you can tell it is still not as sharp. So your sharpness is going to be more in this region, which is fine. Just keep your subject there. And again, this is wide open, I believe, or I don't know. I have no EXIF information, so I have no idea. I believe this was wide open, but now I'm second guessing myself. Regardless where you're at, whether you're at 2.8 or f4, I didn't exceed f4. I did 5.6 in the video, but when it came to the photos, I was trying to stick to either f4 or 2. This one was a guessing game. I have no idea if I were going to be in focus or not. Guesstimate how long my arm length was, and then I went and looked at that on the focus ring. So this is as close as I could get. Not bad. The contrast, the detail is good. So a few things that I have discovered having this for a few weeks now is that this is a Canon RF back cap for the back element. And it does not fit. You need to have the one that comes with it. For some reason, this thing does not. It's just so loose. I'm not exactly sure. We're just going to keep it. It's naked right now. The butt is showing and the top is showing. I don't know how to explain that without getting into trouble. But yeah, the aperture ring is, I don't know if you can hear it. It has a satisfying click for each of these stops. So it goes all the way to f22 and down and wide open to f2.8. So if you're doing something at night, astrophotography, and again, $189, I think these are actually going fast online, especially on Amazon. So do look at that link right away, and you might have to order through B&H or through Amazon just to make sure you get it. But it doesn't have the weather sealing too. So is that a concern? No, unless you're shooting in rain. Now, if you do purchase this, here is some advice from me. Now, I've taken it off a couple times, but the first time trying to take this little pedal off was not easy. I wasn't even sure if it would come off, but it still isn't. It is. You will think this thing is a permanent fixture on here, but you actually, and you think you're going to break it, you actually really do have to crank it. So it is screwed on. And again, all of this is metal. It is a weapon. Oh, look, it finally came off. And so there you go. Then you can put on your filter thread, 82 millimeters, put it on there, and then, get back to screwing this on. The focus ring, it's good. It's dampened. It feels great. Do you know if it's in focus? No. And that's why a lot of cameras will have tools. The Canons have some nice focus peaking. But when it comes to ultra wide like this, the 14 to 35, your focus peaking is going to, even at 2.8, is going to show that most things are in focus, even though they're not quite. It isn't until you get to longer lenses where it's more obvious. And where I think this will really shine is landscape. And this will help you get a feeling if 14 millimeters ultra wide lenses are your thing. For $189, it's worth getting into it. And then you can go from there and get maybe the 14 to 35 down the line, or there is a 15 to 35 variable aperture one, STM, and that's pretty good too. From what I hear, I actually never tried it, but I hear it's pretty good. It's not an L series lens, but the 14 to 35 is super sharp. So is the 15 to 35, which is actually right here. And it is a beast. This is a 2.8, 15 to 35, and it is magical, especially at night. That is what I would be using for stars, but that is actually $2,200. This is $189. $2,200, $189. There is a big difference. If you do decide to purchase this, the link is below. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you any extra. Also, if you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, but before you go, check out these videos right here. There is value in there for somebody. Maybe not you, but someone will find value in it. They're fun.